Okay, hi, good evening, and welcome to Garblag Games. We are live on everything, Twitch and YouTube. Oh, wow, that's me repeating on myself. That's really awkward. We're bringing you Mage Ascension Heist this evening. We've only got 2 players today, so we're going to do a side quest special. But before we start, I just wanted to remind you about a couple of things that we've got going on the channel. So we've got 2 giveaways happening on Garblag Games at the minute. We've got the one for Mage, which is this one, and we're giving away a rolling tray and a set of dice from Thornless Rose. They're very, very beautiful. You can see an image of those somewhere around a little bit later. We've got another giveaway happening on our other show, the Pathfinder game, Tears of the Dreamer, where we're giving away either a copy of the core rulebook, such as this one. Yes, mine's arrived. Or the Game Master's Guide, which I'm going to have to now buy because it looks really awesome. On top of that, this Saturday, we've got a stream takeover from Heavyweight Games, where we're going to be having Adrian from Heavyweight Games taking over our channel and running a game of Carbon 2185 as a one-shot, which is going to be cool and awesome. I haven't cyberpunked in quite a while. But in the meantime, we're here to give you Major Goodness today, and Major Goodness is what you shall have. With me tonight are Claire and Auden, who are playing Tiana and Ray, respectively. Sadly, due to illness and overworking, we're down our other 2 players today, so that's okay because we're just going to do an exciting little side quest for these 2.
Woo!
So, hello, good evening, welcome back.
Thank you. Shall we introduce ourselves?
Go ahead.
So yes, I am Auden. I will be playing Ray Van Horn, a Hollow One speed freak.
I am Claire, and I will be playing Tiana Hathaway, who's an ex-Syndicate Dream Speaker.
Excellent. Now, when last we met our merry band of intrepid adventurers, they had done a couple of little missions to set things up for the crew. Remind me what happened.
Oh, there had been shenanigans. So we were tasked by the mysterious Mr. Black to nobble, burgle, and otherwise annoy a chap by the name of Damien Kindler, who does dodgy deals and money laundering for the bad and the unpleasant. So we decided on a couple of approaches, some of them personal. So Junior went off and attempted to be a journalist at him. Ray and Sweet Pea went off and burgled his flat, and also the flat of his best mate Ty, who's also his IT head geek. Unfortunately, things got blown up. It was really fun. Ray's first proper piece of magic, which I am unduly happy about.
And it was all clearly an accident.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, clearly an accident. Just because we had to then go and blow up most of the 6th floor just to make it look like an accident. It's just camouflage. Which brings us mostly, there was some brilliant hacking. There was a lot of very fast typing.
Oh, yeah. Much hacking.
Yes, much hacking. And there was a little black slug creature who just wanted a friend, as I remember.
Yes.
The end of last episode.
I think the little black slug creature was left outside the door, but very much wanted to come in and be friends.
Eventually defeated by love.
Kitten videos. Exactly. So that brings us to where we are now.
Back at the lockup.
Back at the lockup. Kettle's on.
Always.
Junior's rubbing at his ankle. He's got a cup of tea. You've got me calling him Junior as well now. Mr. J. Matheson Jr. Esquire.
Yeah, Junior.
Sat with a cup of tea. Sweet Pea's got one of her bottles of peach iced tea. You guys are sat around. Tiana had, I believe, uncovered some further information.
Yes, there was a man who was watching the interview that Junior did with Damien, and he is essentially a dead paratrooper, lost during something called Project Zenith. There was a lot redacted, and Project Zenith was a restricted military experimental program to create super troopers with chemical and biological means. But the guy who was following was technically dead.
Absolutely. So you had uncovered more questions in your eternal search for answers.
Always more questions.
As happens.
Yes. Anything you do generates more questions.
So what's the plan? Where do we go from here? Get her shoes dirty and go out and do some field work.
Oh, I don't have to. Well, I can't let these guys have all the fun.
Yeah, go on. It'll be fun. We laugh. Sweetie Pea and me had a laugh. Didn't we, Sweetie Pea? She's gone very quiet.
I guess so. I'm not going to try and do Claire's voice. It's a little bit high in register for me.
We had a cracking time. We made it rain. Stuff blew up. It was brilliant. I loved it.
Well, I guess we could go out and explore some of the locations, because there was that bloke from Turkey, wasn't there?
No, don't remind me. Oh.
Yes.
Yes, the very hairy.
Sam Alibeoglu.
Are you suggesting we go to Turkey or?
Ooh, they have nice dates in Turkey, don't they? Yeah, no. We could go and investigate the place that he's selling, buying, in the process of changing.
Oh, Paddington Way. Yeah, all right. Might find some bears.
The cuddly sort.
Well, I've got to hope. The other sort's scary.
Yeah, look a bit like the guy from Turkey. Sorry, I'll stop bringing it up now.
Oh, please. Oh, it's not good. Oh, dear.
It's only the one photo on Facebook.
Yeah, it
had to be that one.
It was enough. Bad.
Brain bleach required.
Do we know anything?
Yes.
Because we could.
You do. You know quite a lot.
What do we know?
What you know, you got me doing the accent as well now. God's sake.
Ray, it's infectious.
I do have a bit of a tendency to catch accents. I blame my father. So yes, what you are aware of is that in the Paddington region of London, there is a road called North Wharf Road, on which there is an estate called the Dudley Estate. It's an old industrial estate that hardly anybody uses anymore, mostly a bunch of old lockups, railway bridges, and stuff like that. And it's been up for sale for the longest time. Nobody really wants to buy it because it's a bit of a hole. It's right next to the wharf. It's in the middle of some remarkably nice developments, but is itself so horribly run down that nobody seems to be all that interested in it. And yet, Damien Kindler's firm, Caton Holdings and Investments, have been speculating on the entire estate.
A black spot.
What's wrong with it? And why does he want it so badly?
Well, you like the spirit of things. Why don't we go and have a look? The building.
Am I allowed outside? Am I allowed away from the computer? Can I check it on the computer first?
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at it first.
Go on then. I'm going to make some more tea.
Can I see what I can? I could probably not manage any more coffee.
No, not wise.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. But for now, can I have a quick background check on the local area and see sort of what kind of people are there, what kind of basically any sort of publicly available information on sort of crime rates, crime statistics, local events, local statistics.
Fire away. Intelligence computers, your 1 dice roll.
Only one I need.
I'll try and get you to do something else today.
Apart from when you do Erite for your spirit powers.
Did that work? Hey. Oh. Yeah, 3 successes?
Yeah, I mean, not your finest moment, but still plenty of success. And that lets you pull up quite a lot of information on the area. So it's in Paddington Basin. It's just across the basin from St Mary's Hospital, accident and emergency section. Hilariously, and this is actually true in the really real world because I looked on a map for this, there is a bank over the road called Heist Bank. Love it.
Amazing.
You cannot make up. No, seriously, you cannot make up this stuff sometimes. Truth stranger than fiction. But yes, so there's Dudley Estate, which is a bunch of old, disused storage lockers, lockups, and a railway bridge. In the middle of what is quite clearly an up-and-coming area. So it's near a hospital, it's near a number of shops. It's not very far away from a number of quite large companies. There's plenty of access to roads. You've got consulates and all sorts nearby. It's not even that far from a nearby Hilton. So while it
could
is
be
a
lovely,
really grotty area, it could, if the right job was done on it, become quite a pleasant place to be.
So what's the history of this place then? When did it start getting run down?
This place has been run down since after the Second World War. Bombs.
It's always been awful. All right.
Bombs fell in the region and devastated a lot of the area. So when it was rebuilt, it was kind of rebuilt very quickly. So everything was sort of thrown up.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And it's this sort of almost closeted off cul-de-sac backwater of 60s, 70s concrete and crime.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
an
awful.
estate. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But it's strange that there'd be an estate in the middle of a nice area.
Yeah, but it wasn't always nice.
Yeah, that's it's a bit slow catching
no
up.
residential places around it. The nearest residential places are on the other side of North Wharf Road, and they're all new flats now and quite pricey. £400,000 flats.
All right. Does Ray? I'll stop doing Ray's voice. Does Ray know anything about the Dudley estate in terms of crime?
I mean, he knows where it is. Ray's kind of got the knowledge, hasn't he? He's
is it worth
not a
much?
taxi driver because he doesn't want to be. No, it's just nobody wants it.
Is there any
been for sale for ages.
Dealings? Anybody based there? Anybody I can go and visit?
No, it is actually remarkably devoid of places. I mean, you'd think that somewhere this rundown would either be a major draw to the homeless because they could break in and get some shelter, or to gangs and criminals and dealers because it provides an off-road, off-grid place where they could do their dealings.
Yeah.
And maybe some do, but it's not a widely known thing. So it's not like anybody's particular turf.
All right.
It's kind of a dead zone.
That is
interesting. Yeah.
Interesting is not interesting, which is interesting.
And it has terrible mobile phone reception.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
We're not
no.
going there.
Some of the worst in London, apparently.
Well, should we go and have a look?
Yeah, go on then.
Go on, let's get you out of the house. Come on.
That's probably a good idea.
Get the motor.
Which motor are you taking?
We'll take mine.
Landy?
No, the one I originally turned up in.
Oh, your actual car?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm not taking the Landy out till I need it. Don't want that turning up on cameras or nothing.
Yep, fair enough. Right, what are you driving then, Ray?
This piece. This is my subtle car. This is my nondescript. Nobody looks twice at a Mondeo. It's bright red, obviously.
Naturally. So you hop in
Put it on the bonnet and see if there's anyone home.
There might be. It's mine, and I have looked after it.
There is the potential for there to be someone there. There's the sort of germ of an
Glimmer.
idea of a spirit presence in the car.
Oh,
And if you spent a bit of time with it, maybe worked on it, you could probably coax it to consciousness.
Will you stop flirting with the motor?
not flirting, saying hello. It's polite.
Oh, it's fair enough. I say hello, so it's all right.
Part of the
Morning.
reason why it's starting to wake up. Right, so you hop in the Mondeo and you slog your way through central London traffic in the middle of the morning.
Put the radio
At one
on.
point, you managed to get yourself up to nearly 7 miles an hour. It's exciting.
What is that cyclist doing? Why do they do that?
I think they have a different colour perception. So when it's red, they think it's green. And when it's green, they think it's green. No, I don't know either.
Now, when it's red, they're pedestrians. When it's green, they're vehicles.
Still can't run them over.
Nope, not allowed.
No, got told that.
Right, could you both make perception alertness checks?
Oh, yes.
How do I do that?
A veritable roll. Hang on, I've got to find my thingy first. It's where the illusion shatters. Perception, what now?
Perception alertness.
Perception alertness.
No, it seems I can't.
Well, you made the roll, you just didn't get anything from it.
Oh, I'm going to go with yes.
A stonking roll there.
Look, kittens.
Hang on, is this visual? Because
yes, it is.
It's even easier for me then.
That means the 4 counts as well.
Yeah.
You noticed how pretty the clouds are today.
Oh, a little bit busy.
Right, you are 100% sure that under no circumstances whatsoever are you being followed.
Right.
Because there's no way anybody could have followed you.
Nobody
with a roll like
sneaks
that.
up or Ray. Even in a bright red Mondeo. Just disappears into the crowd.
So yeah, there's nothing shifty going on. The roads are completely normal. And you pull up on North Wharf Road, and there's a broken, rusty metal gate with sort of what's it called? The grill fencing stuff.
Grill fencing?
Chicken wire?
Yeah, the chicken wire grill fencing stuff. Sliding gate. It's open and unlocked, and the gate's open about maybe that much, enough so that somebody could have squeezed through if they wanted to. There's a gravel path running down a ramp to this sort of series of lockups and railway bridges. It smells of damp. It smells of river. Well, not even real river, knockoff river, because it's Paddington Basin.
Like the Fleet, then.
Yeah.
A canal.
The wooden doors that you can see on the lockups are rotten and mouldy. Padlocks are very, very rusted and in a really bad state of repair. There are syringes and ampules and spoons on the floor. It's not a salubrious area.
Oh, inner city chic.
I don't like the decor, I have to say.
2/3 of a beige sofa just sort of on its side. There's a couple of stained mattresses that you don't want to linger on for too long.
No, don't want to linger on.
Something might leap out.
No,
So yeah, they're generally the most rundown, deprived, horrible sort of area you can imagine in what alleges to be one of the greatest cities in the world, and so close to hospitals and Hiltons and top flight flats and businesses.
Well, this is depressing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could be so lovely. I wonder what it looks like on the other side.
Could you make a perception and empathy roll, Claire?
Maybe.
Ray, no.
Where's my empathy? Empathy. There it is. Do-do-do. Yes, I can.
It is very depressed, actually. It is very, very depressed. Mood here is incredibly subdued. It's almost supernaturally so. Something here is not right. There's a sense to this place, an aura to it that just sets your, not teeth on edge, sets your teeth on a little bit of vomit at the back of my throat.
Mm.
It makes you feel uncomfortable just being there.
Ew. Can I take a quick look into the Umbra and see just if there's anything floating around? Or
Absolutely.
I'm not sure I want to do this because it's going to be all teeth and claws and gloom, but
Gonna be grim.
Oh, I'm going to get a picture of kittens on my phone.
yes, please. That sounds like an excellent plan.
Right, I'm ready. Got your safety net.
Got the kittens.
This isn't Lethal Weapon.
What am I doing? Arete?
Yes. And it
Difficulty?
is only difficulty 4 because it's kind of coincidental magic, no witnesses. Two successes. You immediately work out why this area feels so horrible. It's a Bane spirit infested shithole in the Umbra. The whole place is all sort of fetid, stinking pools, buzzing flies, slime, mold. Everything that you saw in the real world is turned up to about 11 in the spirit world. There are things living in those mattresses, cockroaches as big as your arm.
Which are presumably also quite depressed.
Scuttling over things. No, they don't appear to be all that sad at all. They're not natural cockroaches. They're spirit forms. Everything here is genuinely horrible and unpleasant. Just looking at it makes you feel physically ill. This is deep anathema to a spiritual person such as yourself. This is the end of the spirit world that nobody should ever have to see. This place alone would be enough to drive a werewolf pack absolutely mental with rage.
That's concerning.
The lockups and garages kind of loom a lot more like open mouths waiting to consume things. There's trickles of liquid flowing out of some and bubbling away, and all kinds of horribleness going on. I don't know what happened to my descriptionating then.
Oh, Ray, you don't want to see that. That's not nice.
All right.
Yeah, you see what we see right here?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Buckingham Palace on a slightly bad day compared to what's on the other side. It's grim. It's sticky. It's disgusting. It's smelly. It's nauseating.
It's radiating go away vibes. You can see why people don't stay here for long.
Is it intentional?
I'm not sure. It's infested with Bane spirits. I wonder if maybe it's just one of them turned up, made it a bit grim. A few more turned up, made it worse, and now it's party time for the Bane spirits.
Just in my business, if you spend a lot of effort getting people to go away, it's because you're trying to keep them away from something.
There's probably something deeper. It's guard dogs, maybe.
Do you want to push on? Do you want to set fire to the whole thing?
It's tempting. I'm not sure how I'd set fire to the bit that he's setting fire to. I think it might be a better way, but
all right.
We might need our other friend for that.
Yeah, maybe. Can I sense anything in? Is there any energy in the space? Is there any electricity flowing? Is there any sign of the normal ebb and flow of the forces of urban living?
Ooh, interesting. You can make an errate check to see what you can sense in terms of the energetics of the place. How are you going to do that? What's your sort of focus for this?
I am. So I keep forgetting to mention this, but it's a very important character point. Is that Ray always wears sunglasses? None of the rest of the party have ever seen him without his sunglasses on. But when he really needs to focus, and he probably did it in the high-rise building when he was focusing on the energy flows, is he changes them. He's got he kind of opens up his jacket. He's got a set of different coloured ones. And he shifts over to these sort of electric blue ones with a bit more of a sheen to them. And that's part of how he starts to focus in. And he just starts doing, you'll hear him, Tiana will hear him muttering under his breath, right, mate, where are you, mate, where are you, mate, what's going on, mate, what is it, mate, what is it, mate, and he just gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And that's how he gets himself into the zone of being able to visualize and even start to manipulate these vital forces of the urban life.
Okie dokie. Let's see what you can see.
All right. So this is just my errate. So
Errate, yes.
3D whatnot.
Yep.
Let's see how terribly this goes.
Difficulty's only 4. So that's 3, 4 successes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right. Yes, the energetic sense that you get from this place is that it's a sink. Any energy that does come in here, you can see your own energy. Not very well, because you're not particularly good at life force, are you? You're not a life mage.
No.
But you can see the sort of the drain happening even to you. It's like something is pulling at your life force. It's draining the battery from your car.
Whoa, me motor.
I mean, it'll take weeks to do. It's a very, very slow drain, but there is very definitely some kind of energy drain coming from further down nearer the river.
There is something going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Something sucking those, not just nasty spirits and goopy things. Something is sucking the energy out of this place.
Interesting.
Wonder.
Can you see where it's being sucked to?
I've got an idea. We're going to have to go deeper in. So.
Oh Lord, I should have brought wellies.
Get your kitten specs on. I've got wrong van. Sorry. I'm going to get the tool bag out of the boot though. Crowbars, hammers, chisels. Yeah, the usual.
I don't have much signal, but I should probably bring my devices just in case.
Yeah, devices are slightly different for you, because while other people might not get signal, you maybe still can because you really want to.
You ask really nicely.
Also, correspondence.
Yeah, that's why.
I will communicate with these things. I will.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
So, what do you want to do?
I'm going to grab the go bag and squelch our way towards wherever this sink is.
It's not particularly squelchy in the really real world. I mean, there's some
spirit
puddles.
wellies.
Spirit wellies, definitely. There are puddles, and they've got like an oily sheen on the surface of them, and you wouldn't want to lick it, but you don't want to do that with most puddles anyway, I would hope.
Glad the voices in my head told me not to lick the puddles.
Yeah, so you've got about a dozen lock garages, railway arch, that kind of thing around here. You've got 6 up the top where you are, and then the rest sort of curved down and around closer to the river. The river at this point is to the south of where you are, down a hill. And when you get down to the river, you should be able to see St. Mary's Hospital just across the road, across the river. I keep saying river, it's a basin, not the river. It's like an outflow for the fleet.
Yes, we understand. All right, and this sink is down that little pathway?
If you want to follow the direction that the energy sink is going in, it will lead you past all of the 6 that are up here. They're just dilapidated and crap. The last one of the railway bridge lockups, down right by the water, does seem to be the central location for this energy drain.
Right. Well, there's nothing like going to the source. Did you bring any sauce?
Juice, yes. Sauce, no.
Juice will do. Yeah, all right.
Can I take another peek into the Umbra, see how it looks down this end?
Yes, you can. Oh, Ray, one thing you would notice at this point is that this is the first padlock that you've seen that isn't rusty.
I was going to ask, what does the door and the log look like?
The door still looks really crap
Okay.
on the outside, but the padlock's new and nowhere near as rubbish as all of the others that you've seen.
I'll see what Tiana sees, and then I'm going to poke it with a stick.
4 again?
Okay, this is almost like being sort of waist deep in a swamp round here. You are literally surrounded on all sides by slithering, creeping, slimy, disgusting things. Around the size of a sort of medium-sized dog to the size of a small horse, just sort of shuffling around. They don't seem to notice you particularly. They're just sort of slumping around and blobbing about.
Yeah, Ray is going to notice me kind of recoil and go, ow, ew, 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 no, no, no. Kittens, kittens, kittens.
Bring it to kittens. Meow. Meow. Is that helping?
A little bit.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's really not nice around here. It's some of them are big. Not big, but not. Yeah, small horse.
Right. Is that going to be a problem?
I think as long as I don't look at them, we'll be fine. They didn't notice me.
Right.
So we're probably okay. I'll keep an eye on them.
Let's not look at them. You keep an eye on them without looking at them. I want to go poke a door. Very, very carefully.
Okay, how do you mean poke a door? You mean literally poke a door?
I'm physically going to poke the door. I think so my suspicion, which I'm going to test with the point of a crowbar, is that this one is in a lot better nick, and if it looks naff from the outside, it's probably covering something a lot more solid. So I'm actually going to attempt to drive my crowbar through the door.
And your crowbar does indeed sink into the door to the depth of about 1/2 inch. Rotten, mouldy wood flakes away around the end of the pry bar end. Old, manky blue paint chips off. Big, thick, soggy splinters break loose. And then underneath it, you can see that there's a layer of like slightly stronger, newer wood that appears to have been stuck on the inside of the door.
I think we've got a winner.
What have you found?
This one, someone's bolstered this one up. It looks crap from the outside, but I've reinforced the door.
Yeah, for on the inside.
Yeah.
So they didn't want people to know that they were using it.
No, I think we should have a look.
Well, we're here now, aren't we? Might as well take a peek.
Yeah, might as well. All right. I will attempt to pick the lock.
Okie dokie. That's a dexterity and probably technology roll. Not a difficult technology, but a technology nonetheless.
Fair enough. Let's see how we do this time around. Whee! Oh,
Splendid.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you got to flip the padlock up and go, and it pops open without too much difficulty.
Well done, Chubby. Throw that one in the river. Oh, we should keep that. Let's not throw it away. I was so
Could be useful.
Throw it in the basin. But I'm learning to be sneaky.
Right, so you've picked the lock. The doors open outwards, towards you.
Still be very careful.
But I will let you discern how cautious you're going to be with the doors and all of that.
Can I have another look in the Umbra and see if anything's noticed us barging through its front door?
Yeah, go on then.
Difficulty 6? Or 4 again?
No, still 4. It's 4 when you're doing something nice and easy like this.
2 successes.
So looking, actually, that might be more than 2 successes. Yeah, one of those is a 10. Oh no, that you don't only get that on specializations. Never mind. So yes, you peek into the Umbra and you do get a sense that there is something behind this door. Not something waiting to sort of leap out at you, but that there is a sort of sense of brooding presence behind the door.
Okay.
Something patient.
Ooh, has it noticed us?
Difficult to tell.
It's not hungry.
Yeah, you're only looking to see if there's anything there, and you get this spiritual sense of waiting coming from the other side of the door, but like something bad waiting to happen. You know how when you're watching TV sometimes and you see a character and you go, something bad's going to happen to you.
It's when you kind of have the gap that's sort of about that big and you're like, what's going to turn up in the gap?
Yeah. It's almost that sort of feeling.
Okay.
Something bad is waiting, but it doesn't mean something bad is waiting and you're going to get the jump scare. It could be something bad is waiting and will just sort of dribble out.
Well, there's nothing gribbly there particularly, just a sense of foreboding.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah. So, don't know what, just something. Something's there.
So,
do we open the door and stand behind it and let the thing, out? Well, not sure that's a terribly good plan. It's been presumably locked in for a reason.
Yes. So, Ray has a couple of thoughts. One is he'd like to open the doors very, very carefully, like his new friend Sweet Pea taught him, looking out for tripwires and things that go boom. He's also quite tempted to go and get something like a car battery, just in case this thing is hungry.
Well, I wasn't kidding when I said I had juice.
Well, yeah, but we don't want your toys getting eaten.
No, I got loads of these back at the lockup.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, they're only going to be tasty snacks, really, to be fair. But
well, if it distracts it long enough for us to leg it, if we need to leg it, that's.
I'm sure if it wants to chew on a power bank, then that's going to be better than it chewing on us.
All right, and I will carefully open the right-hand side door. Slowly
the first thing,
easing it open, very sensitive for any kind of tension, any kind of things going plong.
Well, the first thing that hits you is the smell of death. It's probably something you've encountered before, not necessarily a lot of times, but it's the smell of sort of rot, mold, decay. Something has definitely died in here.
Oh, that is good curry. Oh dear.
Oh.
And as you swing it open, you see the sort of back half of a dog.
Oh dear.
Minus most of its intestines. It looks like it's died in there, bloated up and burst, and that the dog's corpse is probably what you can smell at this stage. Beyond that, it gets very, very dark much behind it.
Well, it kind of suggests that whatever's in there isn't interested in eating mammals, and that's a good thing. Oh.
Yeah, that's as a genuinely new experience that an exploded half of dog is a good thing. All right, I will light up a torch and attempt to pierce the darkness.
Okay, flicking your torch on and shining it round, you can see that there's also quite a few dead rats in there. Similar sort of thing. it looks like they've just keeled over and died. There's puddles around them of sort of decomposing flesh that looks like they've gone in there, just sort of keeled over, died, and started decaying.
Yeah, downside of all these dead things,
Yeah.
don't know what killed them.
Something is sucking the life out of them, is what
Yeah.
I would say. All right.
Power bank.
There is there's some rusted old, looks like pumping machinery behind these bodies that you can see, which is making a very faint creaking noise, like there's something happening inside it. But it's very, very old tech. We're talking like 1950s.
Gonna get a photo of it to send to Sweet Pea.
So that's still moving, or
it's not moving. No, it's making like distant clanging noises. You know how like when metal cools, you get that like when a house cools down, you get that sort of knocking, clanging sound. Sounds a bit like that. Like maybe there's something moving down below and it's echoing up through the pipes. So this is occupying most of the room that's there, and there appears to be a short passageway around it. Or enough room to squeeze past it to fit around behind it. You can't see what is behind it.
All right. And if I switch back into tracking the energy sink, is it going down? It's going down, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you said, it's a sink.
Oh, don't know this. Don't know this at all.
No.
Could I ask you both to make a wits alertness check?
Oh, dear.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that never means nothing's gone wrong. Oh, hello.
Oh dear.
So Claire, you get
Tiana's very clever,
success.
but she's not very witty.
Borden, you get 1 success. And I get 2 successes.
Got a 1 as well, though.
Yeah, I factored that into. Oh no, I didn't factor that into taking away from your 7. You got 0 successes. There we go.
The smell is terrible.
Yeah, it is very distracting smell.
Very distracting.
Puts you off your stride.
Oh, it's just horrible. Go on then.
What are you going to do?
Go and buy a lot of petrol. No. It's tempting. But no. All right. I think we need to find out what's going on. We need to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Place is
Can I
nasty.
take another peek and see if whatever it was is closer or hungry or has noticed us? Because I don't really want to be spotted right now.
No.
Yeah, something I can do at least.
Right.
3 successes.
So, looking into the Umbra, you see one of the slime creatures just sort of slide into the dog's rib cage. It is pretty grim, and sort of bonds with it.
Ew. And
before you know it, the dog has leapt at you.
Oh shit!
And
half a dog.
Yeah, well, it's more like 3/4 of a dog, and the limb bits are all still attached.
It's enough of a dog, is what we call that.
I mean, it won't be digesting you, but that's not going to stop it biting you.
And who knows what it's got on its long dead teeth.
Yep. Okay, so this undead dog thing leaps at you. Oh, that is going to smart, I'm afraid.
Can I dex my way out of that?
Dex and dodge.
Where's my dodge? Where's dodge?
Oh, is dodge not a thing anymore? Am I still not with the times?
I might not be able to see it.
No, it's more like because it used to be a skill.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
not
what
anymore.
I thought. I'm kind of expecting to see it there, and it's not.
Well, you
I'm
can make a dex
for
roll.
this.
You can make a dex roll to try and dodge it.
Yeah, it's worth a try. Difficulty
6
1.
Yeah, so it gets you.
Ow!
I'm afraid.
Ew.
Yep. Oh god, you're a mage as well. A mage
Backing up.
Super squishy.
Backing up right now. This is nasty.
Field trip not going well.
So you take 1 point of damage as this dog
Where I
pounces on you. It doesn't bite you.
Am I now bruised?
You are now bruised. Yes.
Ow.
So yes, this dog has leapt on you. It hasn't managed to fasten
ordinary
its
damage?
teeth on you. No, lethal damage.
Is that the X or the weird squiggle?
You don't want to put the weird squiggle on because that'd be aggravated damage.
Yeah, okay, X then.
We're not there yet. Give it a couple of rounds.
Well, I was wondering.
All right, Auden, what do you want to do?
Swear. What is going on?
It's quite clear that this dog is not alive because it's peeled itself away from its own decomposing intestines.
There is not enough of that
Get
going on.
off!
One of its eyes is missing.
Ow.
And it's just pounced on Tiana and just got goo all over her lovely outfit.
And when you say kind of it sunk its teeth in, I suspect some of them are going to stick.
No, it hasn't sunk its teeth in. It's just landed on you. It was snapping.
Right.
Yeah, but where you're holding it off, your thumbs might be sinking in.
Oh, that's just unpleasant.
I know. Do something. Hit it with a crowbar or wipes or something.
Wet wipes.
It's going to take more than wet wipes. I'm going to be boiling in bleach.
What are you going to do, Auden?
Oh dear. See, Ray, the anti-hero, quite happily to say a crowbar to the thing until it stops moving. And then
Except it won't, because it's already dead.
Yeah, and then carry on for a bit longer. Ray, the newly minted mage, would like to try something a little bit more esoteric, but
I'm not wearing rubber-soled shoes.
wasn't going to sap it. I'm going to hit it with a crowbar. Is there, my limited knowledge of how the mechanics of this game work, is there something I can do to enhance my level of impact, either by boosting the kinetic force of my swing of the crowbar or by changing the very material matter of that crowbar into something a bit denser?
You could do one or the other in this turn.
Right.
Is your problem.
Let's do one of them.
So if you want to enhance the crowbar to do more damage, you can, but that'll take you the turn.
Okay.
As you increase the matter of it or put some extra force behind your swing, more kinetic energy, so you really hit it hard.
Okay. So effectively I've got to charge it up.
Yeah.
Right. I think
because you've got to do your bit of magic and then you hit.
Yep. Okay. No, understood in terms of the mechanics. Right. I'm gonna hit it.
Right. That is dex and melee.
Straight off. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Which is quite a tasty roll for you, as I recall.
It's not my best.
It's like 6 dice. It's pretty good.
Did that
6 dice is professional.
Oh, I'm pushing the button. Oh, hang on. Difficulty.
6s.
6s.
Whop the dog. Whop. You hit this dog with a crowbar. right on the back. So roll your strength +3 dice for damage.
Slightly less exciting.
Ones don't count on damage rolls, so you do actually do a point of damage to it.
Good, because otherwise that was terrible.
So yeah, you hit it. What? You smack this dog thing in the back with the crowbar. Now,
get off my mate!
I'm fairly sure you've been in this situation before where a dog has probably attacked one of your mates and you've had to hit it.
Yeah.
But this dog doesn't respond.
Don't like hitting animals, just want that on the record. It's not right.
Kind of completely
its
ignores
fault.
it. It's not its fault. No, it's bad training. Or, being possessed by an evil spirit.
In this case, yes.
Your crowbar does sink into the side of it. And there's a bit of a wet splat as it does so.
Lovely. All right.
And Claire, it's your go.
Whilst he's hitting it with the crowbar and exploding tiny bits of it, can I hit it on the other side?
On the what? On the other side.
I'd quite like to. On the other side, I'd quite like to somehow give the spirit a slap. Oh, he gets it off. Down.
Well, that would be
boy.
more of an arete strike. You're basically trying an exorcism, aren't you? Effectively.
Yeah.
Trying to force the bad spirit out of it.
Stop it.
Okay,
Down, boy.
How are you doing your exorcism?
Not something I tend to do very often.
No.
And kind of have both thumbs stuck in dog, so I don't really have my phone to hand.
No.
I'm probably going to be visualizing some kind of computer game that involves hitting zombies.
Okay.
Repeatedly.
It's Doom! I'm in Doom!
Oh, if all you've got left is hitting them, you're in trouble.
Well, it's right in my face. Just arete.
Right, so you pixelate your hands up a little bit and roll your arete. Or, you could visualize a digital chainsaw.
I was going to go for axe, but chainsaw might be better.
It's more doomy.
Yeah, let's visualize the chainsaw. It's all good. Difficulty.
Right, this is a little bit trickier because this is kind of a vulgar. Mind you, it's a spirit effect, so nobody can really see it. So you are looking at a difficulty of 6. Do not cock it up.
2 successes.
This would be a bad place for paradox. Excellent. You blast your spiritual chainsaw. You got your hands in it. You sort of visualize these digital hands slicing through the spirit inside the dog with a chainsaw, and it does a hell of a lot of damage to the spirit. You can see that it does. The dog is almost completely unaffected on the outside, but you've just dealt the spirit some serious trauma. So good shout, well done. And it brings it back around to the dog's go. And the dog is going to try and bite you now. You're in luck. It's incompetent.
Well, his teeth falls out.
Chainsaw to the spirit. Yeah.
So, that there is that. So the spirit has been forced out of its head. So its head kind of lolls to one side and its jawbone slides off on its shoulder, where it's sort of thrown you down. So you got this moldy dog jawbone just sat on your clavicle. But it doesn't hurt. It's just horrible. I mean, if we had any kind of sanity-based mechanic, you'd be rolling on it.
Just vomit-based.
You need like a spirit bath as well as a real one.
Yes, you are. Auden.
Hello.
It's your go again.
Right, so I didn't see most of that.
No. She just started shouting and making chainsaw noises at it.
Oh no, she's losing her marbles. I better do something. Right. Yeah. All right. No one is going to like this description, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Ray is going to, with the already slightly embedded crowbar, is going to push it on through like it's a big needle, so that it goes underneath the spine, and then he's going to pull back up so that he hooks the spine with the hook end of the crowbar,
Okay.
and just pull. More attempting to get the dog off Tiana rather than attempting to rip its spine out. But, hey, we'll see what happens.
Make a dex and melee or dex and athletics check, whichever is the higher.
I think it's going to be melee because I have no athletics. Ooh. That's what I get for being cheap.
Somebody's never played Sunday League.
I have so many other characters that are so athletic, which is so not me. Right, how many am I going for? Oh, dex and thing.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That would be 7. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you ram the crowbar through and grab hold of the other end. So roll your strength plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice.
There we go. Bink.
Right, you rip the crowbar up through the dog's spine and rip it in half. And the whole thing just kind of showers Tiana in.
Sorry, that was not the plan.
Bits of mouldering dog corpse.
It was a beautiful plan, and that wasn't it.
It was a beautiful dress.
Sorry, really. So I'll get you another one.
It's fine. I don't currently now have a dog trying to bite my face off. That's
you
all
don't,
good.
because the spirit cannot animate a body in that many parts. So as the body is ripped apart, the spirit is forced to evacuate the body, and it runs away, blobs away from you at speed around the corner behind this big lump of metal.
I think that might be what's down there. Did you see that thing run away? You didn't see the thing run away, did you?
What thing?
The thing that made the dog attack me.
Oh, in that case,
the little weird blobby slug thing.
No.
You went that way.
Make it a point not to look at them.
It's behind the pumping machinery.
Oh, is it?
Probably with all its friends.
I'm going back to the petrol plan.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan. Not a bad plan.
Will it hurt blobby things? It's not going to hurt blobby things, is it?
It depends on whether the blobby things are the cause of the problem or a symptom.
Oh.
They might just be friends with the problem.
Yeah, Claire, in your spirit magic-based experience, these spirits tend to congregate around something.
Kind of like vultures.
Not so much vultures, more like how once you've got enough rotten mold in a place, you get slugs. That's what these are. They're not much more than slugs. They're not thinking, intelligent creatures.
So something probably told it to get into that dog.
So we're suggesting that there is a thinking, intelligent creature down here.
Sounds like it. Looks like it. It's not just them. They're dim. They're not that bright.
Right. And what would you call two people not particularly well equipped going down into a deep dark hole wherein there is an intelligent and perceptive,
not very
otherworldly
bright
being?
Heroes.
And not very bright.
Not in my job description.
Well, that depends on what you're going to do.
I do heroing from a distance. I do it on the other side of a screen.
If you try and go running down there, all guns blazing, you may not do so well.
We didn't bring any irons. Not going guns blazing. Didn't bring any. All right. We should investigate. I want to know. You know,
I'm just curious now.
Oh yeah,
I am curious.
No, that's fine.
But I just want it known for the record that this is really, really stupid.
Okay, good. Do you want to just email Sweet Pea and tell her what we do? Just
I was
in
thinking
case.
of WhatsApp, just so everyone knows where we are, just in case.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's make like a TikTok. It'd be brilliant.
I'll pass it on to you for that one.
Alright.
I don't do my face on social media very much.
Alright.
You might want to think about getting some group comms after this.
WhatsApp group is all right. It'll be fine.
I will email Sweet Pea with pictures and descriptions for Junior to read.
Okie dokie.
They will not be particularly long descriptions because ew.
Ooh, ugh.
Yuck, slug.
Needs
Umbra
new
slug.
dress.
Pretty much.
Ray says, bring more petrol.
Right. So
And
you
with a
send off
location tag.
you send off your location tagged email, or at least you hope you do, to Sweet Pea, and then what?
Tell me more about charging up this crowbar.
You can change the material of the crowbar.
Yes.
To make it into something more dense. You can charge up the force of your swing, so when you swing with it, it hits harder. Changing it into something is going to be vulgar without witnesses at the minute, because it's going to be obvious that you've changed it from one thing into another thing. Plus, at the minute, what are you going to turn it into that's stronger than it already is?
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking of turning it into anything.
But if you want to power it up so that when you hit, it's got like a little bit of extra kinetic energy behind it, then that's a little coincidental thing, because you sort of give your arm a couple of waves, sort of test your swing, power up the kinetic energy of those swings into it, so that when you do finally twonk it with something, you add extra damage from the charged up kinetic energy that it's holding.
Yep.
You basically discharge it into something on your first hit.
I will be doing that, I think.
Okay, how long do you want to do it for? Because you can do that as an extended roll, or you can do it as a single cast.
What would the difference be?
An extended roll, you can do it for a couple of rounds and save up a number of successes.
We're not in any particular hurry.
Yeah, but you don't want to stand in the front bit of this lockup just swinging your arm backwards and forwards all afternoon.
No. Just 5 minutes or whatever. Maybe even while Tiana's doing the email and taking pictures of stuff.
All right, then.
I'll charge it up for.
Okay, well, make 3 Arete rolls then.
Right.
Bear in mind that if you don't get successes on the first roll, the second roll gets a bit trickier.
Oh, okay.
And that if you lose successes on the second roll, they can come off the first roll.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
So we are looking at a coincidental effect at forces 2. So that is difficulty 3 plus 2 is 5. That's 2 successes.
All right. Given roll 20 is either very kind to me or very cruel, this could be interesting.
If you just press the up button, it does your last roll for you again. So that's 4 successes.
So that's
and 0 successes. So you've got 4 stored up successes.
Yeah, I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, probably wise. Your luck has turned.
Yeah.
So you got 4 stored up kinetic energy successes. So basically, when you hit something with this, it is going to hit really, really hard. And we're talking, you've charged this up to battering ram standards. You've got a lot of stored up successes in there, which you can unload all at once, or probably just all at once, because you didn't really do an extended fancy schmancy store it kind of ritual. All right, so you've got your crowbar, which fair humming in your hand.
All right.
Whilst I'm sending emails, can I have a quick Google to see if there's anything I can see about this particular pump? Because I know there's the larger pumping stations that are all around London that we use for pumping water, just sort of to get it into people's taps and things. What was this one used for?
Google runs very, very slowly here. Your phone is being drained of battery as you do it. There's no mention made of a pumping station in this exact area. Nearest pumping station that you can find anything on is on the other side of the river, near the hospital. So this pumping station doesn't really exist. Not on public record.
Not an official one.
No.
I keep getting nasty vibes every time I think of entropic nasty black energy sink and hospital. Just something a little bit entropic death just keeps chiming away in my head there. But let's go in a hole. Come on.
So round the back of the pump, your guess is correct. There is a little metal hatch that's closed, but not locked, leading down under the ground.
Hi ho, off we go.
Really?
Well, what else are we gonna do?
In the really real world, it just looks like a rusty hatch in the ground.
Yeah, be fine.
Yeah, still not great.
No.
You're not selling it.
None of this is good.
What does it look like in the Umbra?
You don't want to know.
You're not gonna like it. It's not gonna be nice.
If I use the word puckered to describe it to you, does that help?
No.
Oh. I don't think I want to look at that again.
Don't tell me.
No.
It looks very organic. I mean, you could imagine H.R. Geiger might have drawn this if he was having a bit of a dicky tummy one day.
Lovely.
Is there any way of throwing out some kind of
vomit?
Yeah, that too.
happy.
Some kind of sort of spiritual, not a lifeline, because I'm aware it's not that malleable, but some kind of flare almost, a kind of white light rather than anything else.
You want to make a bubble?
Yeah, bubble or a marker, or both.
Roll your rarity. Let's see you make a happy little bubble.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty on this, because it's Spirit 3, it's a big one, so it is 6, yes.
Oh,
no.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I have Spirit 3. Does that count with the Arete? That's what the Arete's off, isn't
That was what the Arete was of, yes. You got no successes and a botch.
Oops.
Right, so yeah, you make your bubble. Everything's great. It's fine. Nothing to worry about here. You listen to a little bit of meditative headspace music on your headphones. You breathe in positivity and out negativity, and you create yourself your little bubble. Meanwhile, Ray, you've flapped open this metal gate and look.
Down. What am I saying?
Rusty ladder leading down. You can hear water down below, and you can just about make out a slightly flickering orange greenish light.
Ooh. Can I now? Is it electric? Can I feel it in my
It is not electric.
Ooh.
No, if anything, you would say it's something burning, but more than just fire, because the colour's not right.
There is something on fire down here.
You can't see it yet. It's just because of his keen senses that he can pick it out.
All right. Well, yeah. Down we go. This is not a good idea.
Down the hatch was not. This was not what I meant.
But
so you climb down the ladder. Couple of rungs missing here and there. I don't know that many pubs will let her in at the minute. She smells.
I know a few.
It's a fair point. So down the ladder you go. It's rusted. It's flaking off in your hands, but it's cold and clammy as well. There's a few of the rungs that are missing or bent off at a funny angle, so you've got to be a bit careful going down. But it's quite a narrow tunnel, so it's not too bad. It's not like you're going to fall very easily. Biggest worry is probably tetanus. And down at the bottom, you can hear the river rushing by on the far side of a wall to your left. And then there's like a corridor that runs down behind where you've come down and to the right, and you can just about see this faint glow coming from down there.
All right. I will move away from the bottom of the ladder. Tell Tiana to watch herself on the way down. And wait.
I don't like the fact that some of these steps are missing. It's really wigging me out right now.
You'll be fine. If you fall, I'll catch you.
Thanks.
Chivalrous. Right, so you climb your way down the ladder as well then, Claire?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you reach the bottom, you can hear the river rushing by. You can hear, Claire, sorry, something not too dissimilar to a faint heartbeat.
Can you hear that?
Hear what?
The kind of bum 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 noise. Like it's a long way off.
No. Can you see the flickery, fiery light?
Make a perception alertness check. You can both make a perception alertness check now. It's
can I use awareness
4 for Auden. Oh, yes, you can use awareness instead if you wish. That will give you a different sense of what's going on, but...
Which one am I doing? Sorry.
You do perception alertness.
Okay.
And Claire, you do perception awareness. Right, so that was Claire's awareness. And then Ray got a 6. Oh, no, wait. Ray's successes on 4s. So it's 2 successes for Ray. Yeah, there is definitely some kind of fire burning down here. Definitely something man-made and contained. So it's like a small, deliberately created fire that somebody's got going on up ahead. Claire, you become aware that there's both a smell to the air of sort of rotten poison and a feel to the place that speaks of both decay and destruction at once.
Ew.
So, happy place?
No, decaying, poisonous, unpleasant place. Unsurprisingly.
Right. Okay. Why are we here?
Because we want
your
to
idea.
It out.
All right.
Because Damien's buying it and hoping to turn it into something nice, but I don't think there's going to be anything nice over this spot until it's fixed.
What does? All right. So
I mean, fixed, like spiritual napalm.
If we've got any, that would be handy. I just, again, I'm wondering, is there a pattern here? Are the other sinkholes that he's bought before, were they like this? Is this something valuable to him or his mates? Just feels like there's got to be more to it. Otherwise, we're just stumbling around the dark like heroes. And
yeah, I'm not one of them.
No, me neither.
Also,
anyway,
I got no signal down here. It's really wigging me out. I don't like it.
All right, well, let's go find out what the fire is. Let's hit it on the head and let's leave.
You make that sound so simple.
He's stored up that crowbar. He wants to use it.
I've got to hit something. If I don't get hit anything, I'm just going to hit the wall and let the river in, and then we go back up the ladder.
All right, so you proceed down the tunnel. It's not very long, less than sort of 10 feet. There's a little switchback in the tunnel, and it opens up into a little cave. One half of the cave is solid concrete, side of the basin. You know the river's on the other side of it. The other half of the cave has been sort of burrowed out by something or someone, either dug out or scooped out with hands to create this. It would almost be cozy were it not for the stench of death and decay. There are some ratty mattresses with sleeping bags
Literally?
on. Yeah, well, not literally with rats. No, there are some rat-eaten mattresses and dirty sleeping bags. A couple of bottles, either empty or half empty, of various things. There's a person, but they're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, so there's the body of a human, probably. And they're a mess. I mean, they look like they're part melted, almost. And there's an oil barrel fire, which has got a green tint to the flame burning within. Behind the fire, you can see what looks like an old shell casing from World War II.
Like a really big one?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Like a UXB?
No, not that big.
Okay. Just checking. Does anyone hear a ticking sound?
There's no ticking, but what has happened is that somebody's opened up the side of this bomb and taken out something from inside it. There's rust all around the opening, so it's been open for quite a while. And there's a couple of barrels nearby as well. It looks like they've been brought down here. Make a perception and medicine check.
Ooh, go on then. Keep losing the thing.
Is that both of us?
Yeah.
Whee! 3 for me.
Oh, one.
One for you. It's actually 4 for you. Yep. Because that 5 counts. Because it's a visual perception thing.
Okay, good. All right.
So, Claire, you don't really notice until Auden points it out that, sorry, Tiana doesn't notice till Ray points it out,
Thank you.
that the dead guy is partly eaten. Something has been eaten. Well, not something, actually, because looking at the marks from the biting, it's someone rather than something has been eating this guy.
Oh dear, he's been somebody's lunch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do not want to meet. Well, maybe we do want to meet that somebody. Maybe we don't.
Right, both of you make wits alertness checks.
Oh crap!
Can I do awareness again?
Nope.
Oh,
This is initiative.
You know that thing I just said? I shouldn't have said that thing. Oh God Almighty!
Oh, that's got to suck.
What's going on? I have no idea.
Hang on.
Oh, it's all very confusing. Hello.
what? Okay.
Oh, right.
Oh, mate.
Mm.
That's just awful.
Tiana gets 1 success. Okay, while you are investigating the scene and looking at the partially eaten remains of this body, from behind the barrels, a screaming maniac wielding a knife leaps out at you, shrieking and screaming, and tries to stab Ray.
Yo! Actually, I don't know what's going on. I'm making tea over the green flames.
Right, so he hits you.
Oh, nut biscuits.
Mm.
Right. What are the options?
Dodge? If I had
Not
one?
if you don't know it's coming.
Okay.
He's going to get you with this one.
No idea what's happening.
That's 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Roll your stamina, please.
You one.
Right,
Depending on
he
the difficulty, maybe 2.
plunges. That's 2 successes. He plunges this sort of sickle-like knife that he's holding right into Ray's shoulder blade, right there, and then yanks it back out again with a spray of blood. Ray, take 5 points.
5.
5 points.
5.
It's astronomical amount of damage.
That's just absurd. 1, 2, 3,
Mold.
4, 5. Mold. I'm mold.
It gets worse.
Uh-huh.
It's aggravated damage.
Oh, that's the funny squiggly one, isn't it? There
Yes.
we go. Okay.
5 points of aggravated damage.
Oh.
Sewer mutants.
Ow!
Can I drop kick his spirit to the face, please? not Ray's, the other one.
Probably finished me off. Put me out of my misery, frankly.
You can absolutely give it a go, Claire. It's
Erite?
your go. Yes. Are you just kind of blindly lashing out with a kind of spirit? Bah!
In the first instance, yes.
Okay. So that is difficulty 7 Erite roll. Just doing a very vulgar spirit blast to the face.
7, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, nope. Didn't botch this time.
You unleash a wave of spirit energy reflexively in panic at this guy. And it sort of washes over him. But he's got this one big crazy eye just sort of staring right at the pair of you. And it's like he's only just noticed that you're even there. Ray.
I'm going to hit him.
Might I suggest that you spend a willpower point
Yes.
so as to gain an automatic success on your hitting him roll, because you are at -2 dice to all actions.
Yes. Where are that? Yes. Let's do that. Spend it to win it.
So roll your dex and melee -2 dice and add an automatic success.
Right. Dun, dun, dun. 5 and 7. Down 5. Oh,
You hit him, which is what counts,
yes.
because you've got all of those stored up
I am
successes.
Releasing everything.
Right.
Do I get to roll for some more? Just for
Roll
fun?
your strength.
'Cause he's really annoyed me.
It would normally be strength +2.
But we'll
But it would be strength +1 plus the 4 you've got stored up. So try and roll high on your strength.
Yeah, I've only got 2 of them. It's not built for strength. No.
No.
No botches. Yeah.
But you still deal 5 points of damage
I will quite happily enjoy that.
to him.
I'm trying to uppercut him just under the chin.
You smack him around the side of the face, and most of the side of his face with this big one crazy eye just rips off.
Just go,
It's
no,
like his
means
very,
no.
very loosely attached face. You know the guy in the end of RoboCop?
Yeah.
And he's all melty and then gets hit by the car and explodes.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of sort of state.
Excellent.
So when you hit him around the face, it's like his face is made out of sludgy toxic waste and it just smashes clean off.
Oh, I'm going to Daffy Duck him.
He is going to try and attack Tiana. I don't need that anymore because he's at a negative now. Oh! He swings and misses with his scythe dagger thing.
Got no depth perception, mate. That's the problem.
Swoops it down towards Tiana and just sort of misses the front of her by a very narrow swoop. Tiana, what do you want to do?
I've not used totem before. Not quite sure how it works, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it would be helpful at this point.
Your totem is almost like a sort of spiritual guide at this point.
Yeah,
It sort of
it's
helps and supports and coddles you along with information and teaching.
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
what I thought.
manifesting and punching the snot out of things.
No, that's down to me then. I am small and squishy and rubbish in a fight, so I will try and sock him on the spiritual nose again.
Okie dokie.
A little bit more focus this time.
All right. Same again?
You probably hear me randomly humming some kind of awful techno, given that my headphones have probably fallen out by now.
No, there's no lyrics.
Difficult, yeah. Difficulty 6 or 7?
7. Still a kind of spirit blast to the face. Techno thump. Whoop.
Or not.
You're just kind of splashing all this sort of spirit magic in this guy's face, and he's like, "Rah." You don't actually deal him any harm, but you know you're raving in his face, like oots, 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 oots. Ray.
Oh, he's having to go to the lady now.
Oh no.
That's odd.
Boy.
Right. I'm going for the hook round the neck again. Worked nicely with the dog. Let's see if it works with the Surmu.
Okay, so it's Dex and melee, although you're at -2 dice still.
-2. Ding.
Yay!
Nice.
I'll take that.
You clunk him. Roll your strength +3 dice.
Come on, Ray. Hey!
Hey!
You hook him on the back. So you hit him around the face one way, and then you hook him on the back swing and sweep him into his own fire.
Get off the lady!
Face first into the fire pit, and you hear him scream and bubble and sizzle slightly, and there's a smell of burnt, rancid bacon in the room.
Oh.
And he twitches and seizes for a minute before stopping.
That is quite unpleasant.
And there's a dirty overcoat that he's wearing, looks like a greatcoat, catches fire and starts to burn and smolder with a faint greenish hue to the flame.
Might try and get that off him. Try and hook that. I'm going to hook him out of the fire.
You hook him out of the fire. His face is mostly burnt away. You can see that his skull is also malformed now. One of the eye sockets was bigger than the other. His front teeth are the only ones that are left. All of his back teeth are missing, and his front teeth are fused into these two sort of chomping plates that are sharp.
Ooh.
Rat boy.
That dagger that he stabbed you with wasn't a dagger. It was actually his hand. His hand is this twisted scythe claw, like a praying mantis.
Oh, lovely.
Of
right.
fused bone and flesh.
Oh, this is delightful, isn't it? Are we getting pictures of all this?
Yep. Not that I really want them, but yep.
Well, no one is ever going to believe us, so.
No.
All right. That was deeply unpleasant. I am in quite a large amount of pain.
I wish I had some clean cloth to stuff in that for you, but I don't think you want this dog-infested dress anywhere near that.
Could you both make a stamina and survival roll, please?
Not like that at all.
And remember, Auden, you're at -2 dice.
And I'm -2. Okay, stamina and what now?
Survival.
Oh, I think I have no points in.
You have a dice that you can roll.
Oh, nice.
Same. 7.
Dear Lord. Oh, it's going to be a 1.
Don't be a 1.
Hey! And you roll
The other
20.
one. There is a 1 in it. Right, you both feel slightly nauseous. I mean, and more nauseous than you would normally be feeling after the amount of slidey, sloppy flash mess that you've seen today. There is definitely a sense of nausea from being in this room.
Did not like it down here.
Are either of you science-y in any way? Ray is
Yes.
not. Tiana
really.
is. Tiana, you can make an intelligence and science roll if you wish.
Oh, that sort of science.
Um,
I've got a cult. Does that help?
Not entirely.
No, fine. That's fine. Also, not a lot of intelligence. Ray, not intelligent.
Right. Tiana, you think that it might be like radiation poisoning? Like you're starting to feel the initial exposure to a radioactive source.
That figures.
Hence mutant.
Yeah.
Is it the fire? Is it the evil green fire? I'm not like
Is
evil
it
green fire.
something out of the not a UXB?
How are you going to tell? Let's find out.
Mm.
Who wants to look at what?
I'm going to shine a torch or a phone torch into the hole in the bomb.
Okay.
I'm not sticking my head in it, just to be clear.
Oh, no, never. I've learned this one from films. Don't put your face over it.
Right. What you can see is the inside of the bomb is etched with Norse runes and Hermetic symbology.
Oh dear.
So the inside of the bomb has been, there's like a cradle for something inside the bomb, and around the outside of the cradle and on the inside of the bit that's been forced open, there's all these etched magical symbols. Like when the bomb hit, the symbols would have been crushed, and whatever was there
would then be released.
would have been
they
able
were
to be
presumed
released.
this was not a normal bomb.
No.
This is a magic bomb.
And Ray, do you want to make a perception investigation check of the fire?
Not really. Yes.
Minus 2 dice.
Yeah, I was just looking at my total lack of investigation. Oh, those 3 though.
Sat in the base of the fire, there is polyhedral shape. Something metal with a very faint iridescent sheen to it. It's like a pale silvery white metal that's in a polyhedral 12-sided shape.
Oh.
Okay.
And it looks to be the source of the green hue.
Right.
Claire, there is also German writing very faintly on the side of the bomb on the outside.
Can I make it out?
You got Google Translate?
I was going to say I want photos of all of this.
Okay, yeah, photos works.
Because I'm not going to be able to Google it down here.
I would like a large pair of tongs and some big gloves and one of those visors.
You have a crowbar and a dirty sleeping bag.
Terrified spirit mage.
Terrified spirit mage. And a really nasty wound.
And a really, really nasty wound. You are going to want to get that looked at.
It is not quite the same.
You can cauterize it with the thing in the fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Yeah, I could do that.
There'll be no negative consequences of that whatsoever.
Mutant powers.
Wings.
Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, it'd be magic.
There's no way it could go wrong.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. Yeah.
Is it actually TPK if, only half the party are even here?
Tune in next week for everyone else's adventure.
Yes, tune in next week for me killing the other half of the party.
As they come down the hole and fight the polyhedral several times and get eaten by Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. You have also got, boots, so you could kick the fire over.
All right. I'm going. Tiana, I
Hi.
think this thing, this glowy green thing, needs to go back in the bomb casing, because the bomb casing is designed, I am so hoping, to keep it in.
Okay. How big is the bomb?
The bomb is
I mean, is it a
not
size of
even
twice?
fully exposed. You've got maybe a third of it exposed in the
Okay,
wall.
so it wouldn't be
It's-
movable.
No, it's been dug out of the wall
Okay.
to get to it. It's an unexploded bomb that's gone underground and not gone off. So it's been dug out to get to it, and then they've forced their way in. So the metal of the bomb has been pried open to get to what's inside it.
Okay.
We think we can close it again.
Unlikely. You are more
it's
likely
rusted,
to have
isn't
it
it?
break apart.
I was thinking maybe we could kind of roll it over onto the fire and just extinguish it and then kind of keep it in. But if it's still buried in the wall, then not going to happen.
No, afraid not. The bomb is buried in the wall. The active ingredient, whatever it might be,
is
in the
barrel.
fire.
Can
Put the fire out with a manky mattress.
Can we put the fire out? Can I pick the barrel up and just pour it basically back into the shell?
Yes.
'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it.
Not going to be easy, so make a willpower roll.
Do you need a hand? Can I help?
You can't really help with this because it's a feat of strength roll. So it's a willpower roll and add it to your strength score.
Right. Okay. So my number of points of willpower.
Yep, that's how many dice you roll.
Uh-huh.
You just got Tiana twittering around in the background going, "Don't burn your fingers. It doesn't look very nice."
Oh, it's hot. Stop. Just shush.
So the bottom of the barrel is cold, so you sort of manhandle it around. What's your strength?
Not the best. 2.
2 is enough to add to those 3 successes for you to be able to manhandle the barrel and kind of pour burnt bits of wood and whatever and
rat boy.
This weird polyhedron back in through the open side. I mean, you don't get it into the little cradle, but you've got it inside the bomb.
I just want it a little bit more contained because it's making me uncomfortable.
Yay.
Yeah, could you both make another stamina and survival roll?
Oh dear.
Yes, absolutely.
I believe that's 1 dice each.
Yeah. It would be more, but I have a large hole in me.
I don't know. No, I can't.
Oh no.
Right, Claire, take a level of aggravated radiation damage.
Oh.
Oh.
So that's hurt aggravated. Is that right? Or is it bruised aggravated?
You change your bruised to
aggravated.
aggravated, and you add
And
a
then put
level of normal hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I am
So,
very
ow.
sorry, very sorry. Did somebody say there was a hospital nearby?
What did you get, Auden? Oh, you got 5. You
5.
also take that
Oh,
point of radiation damage.
You're gonna have to carry me out at this rate.
Yeah, you are going to really struggle to get anywhere.
Oh, I'm crippled now. Okay, good.
So yes, there is a hospital nearby, as luck would have it.
Might need it.
Gonna need that.
Yeah, might need that. Gonna have trouble getting back up the ladder, frankly.
You have to do it one-handed.
Shall we head?
You've torn something when you picked up that barrel.
Ooh, that barrel's everything it looked.
He's leaking a lot.
Our work here is done.
I think maybe our work here needs to be wrapped up regardless of whether it's done or not.
I think if we want this thing sealed up, we need to call our friend Mr. Black and get him to bloody deal with it. Because
Napalm followed by concrete.
Or napalm followed by concrete. That is also good. But firstly, hospital.
Yeah. Can I? I'm not sure. I want to peek in the amber right now.
You can if you want.
Yeah, what's there? Is it laughing at us?
what's there is the spirit that was inhabiting that guy is sort of clawing its way free of the corpse and shrieking and yelling at you.
Mhm.
But it's
Oh,
also
okay.
a little distracted by the enormous vortex of spirit that's coiling around the open side of the bomb. That polyhedron is just sucking in
Yeah.
energy and spirit and all that is good and just and pure in the world.
Okay. Ray, we're leaving.
Okay. Yeah, happily. Yeah, I'm done for the day, frankly.
Cup of tea
Oh God, yeah.
after hospital, obviously.
Well, all right.
Right, so
While I'm waiting.
Tiana helps helps Ray even up the ladder and supports you back to the car. I think she's probably going to have to drive.
Oh, be nice to my car.
Of course.
All right.
It's not far to the hospital.
So round the corner to the hospital you go. Where are you
Ow.
going?
A&E.
Into A&E.
I'm probably not going to screech to a halt because it's a nice car, but I'm not going to be parking particularly sensibly.
Right, so you pull up and you climb out at A&E.
She doesn't mind. It's all right.
And you support Ray in through the door of A&E, dripping and bleeding and gushing all over the floor.
I appear to have had an industrial accident.
Nurses run over to him as soon as you come in because he is clearly the most injured person there. I mean, triage-wise, go to the person who's squirting. He's literally leaking from everywhere. You're covered in like corpse matter and fecal matter and dead animals.
Hello, my angels of mercy.
Oh my God, what happened here? Says one of the nurses. Quick, come in here. And they take you into one of the triage rooms and lay you down on the bed on your front. Claire, you get pushed to the back of the room.
That's fine with me. I've got enough gore on me already.
While these nurses start slicing open his coat and
I like that coat.
exposing his back and getting through to him. And they start bandaging him up and treating him, injecting him with bloody everything they can get their hands on. Antibiotics, painkillers.
Tetanus.
Yeah, tetanus would be good.
Yeah, tetanus jab. And they start pestering you with questions. Well, he's babbling incoherently into the mattress.
Sewer maintenance. Doing sewer maintenance. I've got my ID.
They see the
jacket.
They see that you're covered in gore as well and goo, and say, "So what happened? Please, we need to know as much as we can so we can treat him appropriately."
Yeah, one of the sewers in the estate just across the road. Some of them are smart sewers, so obviously required tech assistance. Which was lucky I was there actually, because he slid down one of the ladders and got impaled on something down at the bottom, which is
right. Okay.
You look at me.
I am such a clumsy puppet.
They fetch you a set of scrubs, Claire.
I think I love you right about now.
And some disinfectant. Says it's for our benefit as well. We're going to have to destroy those, I'm afraid.
Yes, please do. Incinerate them. I don't want to see them ever again.
We'll get him admitted to a ward.
Thank you. Somebody mentioned tea.
Maybe when you wake up. Are you going to let them admit him to a ward, or do you want to try and make off with him?
Do you want to stay, Ray? Are we good? I can let the guys know if you're okay with that, or we can just take it easy at home. Which would you prefer?
We strongly advise that he does not leave at this time. His injury is quite severe. He's going to need some stitches, possibly an X-ray to see if there's any internal damage.
I am happy in the hands of these angels of mercy. Please feel free to come back tomorrow with tea.
Right, so
can I double check that there's nothing that's followed us here and there's no sort of bad influences trying to muscle in on what's going on?
You can certainly try. I'm going to have to go and turn my cat into a high-speed slipper in a minute if he keeps misbehaving.
Difficulty.
Just a peek is difficulty 4.
1.
It looks all good in here. This is a place of cleaning and healing. There are disease spirits, but they're being quite soundly duffed up. Just looking around, even though they might be completely oblivious to the work they're doing, the nurses and doctors here are beating the ever-loving hell out of any disease and injury spirits and pain spirits that are lingering in the area. So he is safe here as near as you can tell.
Excellent.
I shall stay with him as long as I'm allowed to, and then I shall
Yes.
Eventually they wheel him off
patch myself up as best I can when I get back.
All right.
X-rays and
Yeah, just make sure you let our friends know what happened, and maybe call Mr. Black.
Yeah, I might ask them actually as well to take a little look at the little dinks I've had. I'm aware I may have to wait a little bit longer because I'm not splurting anything.
Sorry to trump you on that one.
they will
No, that's fine.
patch up the hurt, the normal damage, taking you to that 1 aggravated bruised level.
Cool.
So they will patch that bit up. Going to be a bit of a different story for poor old Ray because all of his damage is aggravated. So he could potentially, modern medicine, not really the best way to deal with that. That's what they call life-changing injuries. So you might want to get someone to take a look at that who's got a little bit more than modern medicine can offer at some point. But for now, there's no way that the hospital are going to discharge him.
Well, let's see what they can do, and then see
And
if
they'll
we
do
can
what they
find
can.
someone else. Yes.
Right, so Claire, you pay the exorbitant parking fine.
Worth it. Damn it.
It's on my car. I'm paying it.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a fine at this point. She can just pay for the parking, but it's still going to be exorbitant because this is a central London hospital.
I shall deal with it and make it go away.
You head back to the lockup, and we shall end it there. And I will give you guys 10 XP each.
Yay!
To spend as you see fit.
Ooh, it's exciting.
So I don't know if you want to do that now. If you've got any ideas for what you want to do, where you want to spend it.
I think I might need a new arm. Let's go cyborg. Why not? Oof. Dunno.
So it costs 10 points for a new sphere dot. Willpower costs your new rating. Abilities are your new rating times 2. Attributes are your new rating times 4. Speciality sphere is new rating times 7. Other sphere is new rating times 8. Arete is new rating times 8. And a background is new rating times 3. New abilities are 3 points.
Right.
But you don't have to spend it now if you don't want
No,
to spend
it's
it.
going to take a while to digest.
Have a think about what you want to spend it on, where you want to put it.
Survival might be nice. Bit more stamina, maybe.
Not to be sniffed at.
Yes, the underrated skills of fortitude and survival.
You're not getting any fortitude. You're not vampires.
No. I used to love that one.
Oh, yes. Fortitude is everybody's friend. Take 12 aggravated damage. No.
No, I don't think I will, actually. No, thanks. But
What's the attribute cost again?
Attributes cost...
I'm aware it's lots.
New rating times 4.
Yeah. Okay. I'll save up for that one.
Yeah.
And the abilities are
New rating
plus
times 2.
Okay.
Or 3 for a brand new one.
More alertness would be helpful.
But major breakthrough, you found out loads in your little side quest, however dangerous it might have been.
Field trip, yay!
Yay! For the least well-equipped person, possibly people.
You did all right.
Yeah, the spiritual socks on the nose were not as effective as they should have been.
Spirit bolt, no effect. Spirit bolt again. Still
This
no
tiny ineffectual kitten creature bouncing around the back going, really angry, splat.
Charged up crowbar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the plot thickens.
Doesn't it just? Oh, what is going on? Fabulous. Very good.
That was fun.
Right.
Was good, yeah. Oh, that's so mutant though. Oh, jeez. Genuinely feel for Ray. Poor Ray.
Well, thank you to everybody who joined us on Twitch and on YouTube today. Nice little audience going on. Plenty of people popping in, keeping up with what's going on, and lots of people interested in finding out about the giveaways. So to remind you here at the end, if you want to win a set of dice from Thornless Rose, go to episode 2 of Ascension Heist and comment with your favorite mage tradition or convention, and you'll be entered in the running for that. We've got a couple of entries already in. Nowhere near as many as we've got for our Pathfinder giveaway, which is over 90. I want to say over 9,000, but it's not there yet. Over 90 entries to that to win a copy of the Pathfinder core rulebook. Mine arrived today. It weighs about 1.5 tons. Look at how thick that is.
Whoa.
That's, yeah, I know, right? That's pretty mental. It's a hefty old tome.
Please. I've got the old one. It's not that big.
No, I know. One of those is potentially up for grabs to a lucky winner, or a copy of the GM guide if you are more interested in that, or you've already got the cool rulebook. And to do that, you need to go to the Pathfinder Tears of the Dreamer 2nd episode and comment with your favorite Pathfinder career path. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. Hope to see you next week with a full cast for more Ascension Heist. But for now, thank you and good night.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Night.